Time slips for pay. Many years before I hired out in 1977 and until about the turn of the century, trainmen and enginemen had all the records of time for pay purposes kept on a time slip with a carbon copy for each slip. On every road crew, the engineer had his own book for the engine crew and the conductor for the train crew. On a yard switch job, the switch foreman had one for the whole crew. Each employee had an ink pay stamp with their name and employee number on it and would stamp in on the appropriate time slip. The crew member in charge of the slip would fill in all the particulars, sign it, and put it in the designated company time slip box. Most of the road jobs back then in the day were paid by the mile. For example, it was 191 miles from Seattle to Portland, which paid a conductor and locomotive fireman about $1 a mile, a locomotive engineer a little more, and a brakeman a little less. Now, there were lots of ways a crew could earn extra money on these trips, though it would take me a month to even begin to explain them all. There were arbitrations the unions had negotiated over the years, and I will tell you one little story of many that I was involved in where we earned extra pay that was not exactly forthcoming. I was on a local road switcher and we were switching cars out in the Aurelia yard near Kent, Washington at the crack of dawn. I was the pin puller, the head man, high on the lead. I pulled the pin on the last car, an empty flat car, and watched it as it rolled down the lead toward the old Prior Wright's Northern Pacific conductor. The car was intended for a track behind him, but when it was passing by him, he suddenly threw the switch under it, causing it to derail. I thought, what the F? Crazy stuff. He did not seem concerned at all as he motioned to the engineer to bring the locomotive down to the derailment, stopping just short of the derailment. The rear brakeman showed up as the hoghead threw down some wood blocks and chains to us on the ground. The conductor started blocking up the wheels of the derailed car as the rear brakeman started wrapping a chain around the drawbar on the locomotive. I was standing around, still dumbfounded by the derailment, when the conductor looked up from his kneeling position while adjusting a wood block and said, "We get an extra hour's pay to re-rail our own equipment. Just got to add it to the time slip."